Welcome back, YouTubers, to my video channel or video journal blog of my journey so far of the book series, or shall we say of my book of an everyday encounter in everyday life of an Aspie, with, as I said before, with the chapter series so far, living with the AS, so to speak. In the last video, however, we were talking about pretty much basically normality, or as the title of the series was, normal. You're joking, right? This covered the emphasis of pretty much, so to speak, like my definition of normality, pretty much. Even though, like we know, most of us, however, we do ask ourselves what is normal. But in my day and age, how I look at it, normal is overrated. Normal to me, as I said in my previous video of it, is pretty much an ignorant person's view of doing something that they should or could follow on their set rules or guidelines, however, that we need to follow yet again. But yet again, we need to be aware that with these rules and guidelines that are set out, there are, as we come about everyday choices when we wake up every morning, how we choose to live our lives, so to speak, as well as pretty much when we do, like I said to you, yes, I agree to a point with these rules and guidelines that we should adhere by, pretty much, but then again, some rules and guidelines can be broken. But when they are broken, we need to remember that by our given choices of that given situation, there will be consequences that will follow along the way. However, also I mentioned pretty much in that normal video, pretty much also a brief intel about how I fit into the world of being different around you guys, so to speak. And I'm also hoping to continue here and in briefly about how I work things through with it all. Right, I think I better start going on to this video, which is called Rituals and Routines, Series 5. So, let's begin. Having rituals and routines is a way in how us SBs pretty much control our world of chaos or mess or everyday situations that may come into our world that may overwhelm us and whatnot. Yet more importantly to me, having rituals and routines is like a safety net or blanket. That's in this given right, it's how and what we expect, who we expect it from, what we expect within that given situation when it arises, no matter what it is. Be it like, say, if I was pretty much working on a project and then something else arises, so to speak, like, I don't know, a phone call comes up and saying, alright Karen, I need you to do this in the next 5 minutes, and also I would like you to basically get this done by the end of the day. So therefore, part of me feels, with that in mind, yes, I do, but with my rituals and routines, however, I need a timetable structure as well to help me plan out my day of these rituals and routines that may be given to me at hand, as well as maybe an estimated time, or for you lot. But then again, also when I look at them, of these estimated times and dates or what have you of a given task that you're given to me, that even if I am self-absorbed in it, I may do it well, and also that pretty much it may take me longer, but then at the end of the day, if it is due at the end of the day, I should be hopefully guaranteed to actually put my ounce and every effort in. But as I noticed that in this day and age, there's a lot of people, as I said in my last video over, that feel that us SBs are a threat, or just doesn't like someone being different in their circle, so to speak. That yes, okay, I'll admit us SBs can be challenging in our own given right, like any normal people would be probably too when I have come to meet them. For what I have said previously in one of my videos over, I can't recall, it could be in my introductory trailer, yes, I do things repetitively in a given task. To me, it may sure get tiring for me, as well as for others that are hanging around me, when I say a few things, or when I act upon those everyday rituals and routines. Yet, to me, I see it as that when I do them repeatedly, I can make progress and success along the way. Yet, as I said before in one of my last videos, I think it was right back to my introductory, but that most of our SBs may take longer to succeed in that goal of ladder to where we need to be to achieve in our everyday life. Be it if we had a goal in mind, like for example, like most of us would want a dream holiday, you know, be it wherever it is. Sometimes we may aim for, like, looking at saving for goodness knows how many amount of years. I'll just put it on the spot. 2.5, 3 years, we'll say. And after that given time, we want to, you know, go about our merry way and hopefully aim for it. Yes, however, for how long it takes for us SBs to be so self-absorbed, as I said in my last video about me, when it's given a task, I do get self-absorbed. But then again, I can see with that, with my long hard work on it, of the given moment, that I sure as hell reap the rewards. And these rewards, as I know, with all my long dedication and hard work on that given task, even if it's just one thing at a time, the rewards are amazing, for me anyway. I get so excited when I do actually do something right. Even though, yes, okay, us SBs work differently, as I've noticed. And here's an example. In this given rituals and routines, if I was out there, which I'm going to hopefully talk more based on the employment, if I was out there working with you lot, and basically there's a set task you're giving me, be it if I was in a reception job, and you guys do it differently to how I may have been shown, either from my past experience of what I've learnt through training, or through my everyday life of when I've been doing some past employment stuff. Bear in mind, can you just maybe let us work together somehow? And if I'm not afraid to ask you questions, please bear with me if I do ask the questions to how to go about it, and just show me maybe. And doing this, hopefully, with me being that quick learner, if you just, you know, break it down into certain tasks, that hopefully along the way we can meet in the middle again, and hopefully won't cause much conflict of interest, so to speak. Okay, in saying this, and what I do, and what you may also see of what I do, think, act, however, you may end up changing your mind about me, of who I am as a person. If you took away the AS and everything, I am like you all. I am still human, I make mistakes, I eat poop and what have you. I'm just the typical normal everyday human being, but I'm just different in a way of, as I bring out with my conditions of my AS, OCD and the like. Okay, for what I do most days, however, be it like the rituals and routines or tasks at hand, many people may think, oh, why is Kieran doing this? I'll tell you why. Part of me is just fitting into your guys' shoes, or even just fitting into my little shoes and fitting into my little world and niche to feel safer. Yet, I agree that everything that we come across in our everyday lives, of our everyday circumstances, some can be challenging, daunting, and all the like of the mixed emotions rolled into one, pretty much of how we go about living our life and more. Pretty much. But then again, as I said in one of my last videos, and these everyday challenges that we come to face, you know, it's how we go about it by our choice, and, you know, it will come into effect in our future. For however, also bear in mind, the need for us SBs having a ritual and routine, to some people, I'll say this, some people may simply label us as having control issues. I hate this term, control issues. Yes, it may be right to a degree. Excuse me. But then again, when you look at it, it's just how us SBs work differently towards you normal people. In saying this, however, being said, for an observer, be it a normal person or maybe a typical person like another person in my autistic community, pretty much, when we work together, may say this is they don't know the person that they may be autistic or the like. Because, as I said before, some people are not aware or not have much knowledge about how to deal with people that are different, like, you know, me with Asperger's syndrome, or as I said, AS, and they'll come across maybe, you know, thinking that they do know us, but they don't. That's why, hence, as I said, this is an awareness, as well as giving you full knowledge on what I know of living with my life with this condition, hopefully, so that you can handle people like me, hopefully, in a manner and respect that they'll like you for what you're doing. And they may thank me, as well as you thanking me as well, for, you know, just giving you the heads up of what to know about. Okay, however, also bear in mind, there's a few things to bear in mind as I'm saying right now. In my introductory trailer, however, pretty much with me having AS, OCD, and the like, pretty much wouldn't have known until I have recently opened up to you all on the video, or just everyday life when I'm walking down out on the streets doing my normal, every typical day thing of maybe, I don't know, humming, talking to myself, face palming myself when I'm, you know, stressed out, or just get a bit forgetful, do some real weird actions. Many people may like look at me strangely, oh god, here we go, what's Kieran up to? Kind of look, maybe, I don't know. It's hard to say, because as I know that there's a lot of judgmental people out there, maybe, or as I said, insecure people that does knock people down when they see people that are happy. But in all honesty, you know, as I said, we just need acceptance, and hopefully within that acceptance we can guarantee to get along as much as we can, like that song by Guy Sebastian, Why Don't We All Just Get Along? And also, to me, like, as many people notice, that many people have asked me, you know, that I look, or tell me that I look normal, how old I am, and tell them my age and that, and they're like, you're kidding me, right? You're that age? You look younger than you are. Of course, as I said in my trace of an SB, I don't know if I have or not, most people with Asperger's syndrome, AS, or autistic like condition, pretty much do portray that they've got like youngish like features like I do, pretty much, you know, looking young, you know, as a young child or whatever and whatnot. And we do tend to be young at heart, so to speak, about what we do. Sometimes some of us may want to do things in our own given right and wrong. Anyway, in saying what I just said about Aspies having control issues, sometimes this can be imposed as a threat or even an accusation towards us, Aspies. This, however, somehow also implies to us, including me, I will admit, that we just do the work and eliminate the need of control of this terminology that you're saying that we got the control issues buzz going on. Yes, okay, I'll admit, with my OCD, sometimes there's certain things that I want to put in order, you know, be it whatever it is, you know, even though, yes, at the moment I'm freaking out because behind me, it's not in the world of order at the moment, but the other parts of my room are. But in all honesty, we're still the same. Anyway, but also, for some normal people, I've noticed has been so ignorant to this day and age, thinking that us SBs can't be flexible in the given right of the timetable structure of any given day or moment. Yes, okay, we can't do everything in a day, I'll admit. As they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Like that song, now it's stuck in my head. You and me were meant to be walking free in harmony. One fine day we'll fly away. Don't you know that Rome wasn't built in a day? Okay, anyway, enough of my singing. Okay, as I was just saying, I'll get to what I'm saying here. For some other SBs, as we know, or some of the normal people around us, they think that us SBs ain't flexible and given a ritual, routine, or what have you in that given moment, as I was saying before. In saying this, some of SBs can be flexible. I know I can be in any given right if you let us show it out or let us be who we are. Because I've noticed many people just freak out who and what we are as a person, maybe. Yes, I admit that I'm freaking out sometimes, yes, because we are changing and that, you know, we go our merry way through our changes of what we've been through in everyday situations at hand. But, In saying this, however, with the flexibility, us SBs, however, keenly stand out need for rituals and routines. And now I'm hearing you guys probably pondering it out to me or gonna ask me, how so, Kieran? Right, well, in answer to that, this is just with a given moment of thought, with our mindfulness, how we go about thinking our way, pretty much. Like some sort of behavioral cognitive behavior therapy to keep us going, and also just effort. But I'll need to say this, be warned. However, this need for control issues, as you guys may be thinking, won't be gone completely within that day. It's a one given step at a time day factor. Yet again, as I said in so many times in my videos over and over again, people need to understand and hopefully tolerate with us and our differences, and how we go in our everyday tasks, or other bits and pieces that we do that may be doing differently. Even though, as I said, in my characters of an SB or traits of an SB, most of us SBs pretty much are taken for granted, give and take. I am one of them because, like I said, I'm a kind, loyal person. Most of the time, I don't obviously give one person one chance. I'm the type that's stupid enough to give you guys a lot of chances. And hello, now I'm trying to learn. Maybe one chance is all you guys need to prove to me your worth and the factor of trusting you lot, despite what I've been through. Especially, guys, I'll tell you this now, the males, pretty much with some of the trusting factor, I need reassurance, and also the factor of trust, to trust you guys in certain things of what you say and do. Yes, I'm a kind of girl that wants to see it in the actions as well as the words, sort of thing, but many guys has fooled me so many times before. But that will be more later, based on relationships, later on in the piece of my chapter, which I haven't thought of yet, what to call of that part of the chapter. Anyway, okay, another one is you got to be aware of, some of us SBs don't have backup plans. Some of us are just one day at a time person. With me, however, many people notice with my mind racing constantly of my sensory inputs and outputs that I need to keep myself busy, even though, yes, I'm so pumped, got full of ideas and all that. Many people look at me and it's like, whoa, 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 slow down, Kieran. I can't keep up with you. Then there needs to be some sort of, as I said, connection line that maybe I need to either A, take a step back from you lot and sit and think, or whatever way you think may fit for you. If you think I'm getting too much, as I said in one of my videos, tell me to shut up and back off or whatever, if need be, politely, of course, as I said, not the words that I've been getting thrown dissed at me, even though, yes, many people, I can't mould everyone and change everyone for how I want them to, fit into my world, pretty much. But as I said before, most of the values and morals are gone, hereby gone. So, as said, more on that uptake later, as well as my views about guys in general, about self-confidence and whatnot. Anyway, sometimes, however, us SBs get sidetracked, especially when we get overwhelmed or mixed emotions. Hey, I'm one of them. I get sidetracked most of the time, especially when I'm trying to stay focused on that task. Sometimes it gets frustrating when many people want me, to problem solve their problems, or just wants to hear out another matter of opinion of a certain given situation. Here's say example, one of my friends was struggling with a situation, basically, that she was with a guy, pretty much, and now since she's not with that guy, she wants to feel safe, and she wanted my ins and outs, how to go about the, protection order and whatnot. But as said, more of that uptake later. If we do sometimes, however, get sidetracked, I know for me, for being the SB I am, that we do tend to forget most of the activities or tasks that we were doing at hand, and then sometimes we need to basically remember or recall what we were doing. Or another thing is, on the negative note, which sometimes it does happen, we do get frustrated, overwhelmed, and pretty much it leads to the next step with all that overwhelming with me. If I was in a big group, panic mode, station, maybe ripping on my hair, screaming, maybe, I don't know, depending on how far it is. And then it leads down to the real bad one that many people may not see, even though they see me as a calm, natural being, is pretty much the meltdown mode. But more than the meltdowns versus shutdowns of what it is and how I cope with all that later on in the piece, which would be, I don't know how many videos over. Also, I'll need to say, in saying this, with having the rituals and routines, this can draw back setbacks. Setbacks in a way of maybe finding suitable employment. Drawbacks in a way of pretty much attending everyday social activities, be it a party, be it if I'm hanging in a group with you guys going to the beach, be it, just a business kind of meeting if I was out there doing the business world of stuff. And also, last but not least, relationships. Yes, I'll admit that in my previous relationships in the past, I haven't match fit with some of the guys pretty much when they've been, going on about me, about staying focused on one thing, which was obviously my studies, but to me, I wanted to do something for myself that I wanted to achieve in, and hopefully strive for, but obviously it didn't work. But at that given moment, I'm sure that if a need of that opportunity arises again in my given later life, I'm sure I'm bound to grab that opportunity and run with it again. Yet, however, on the positive note, in having a routine or ritual of certain things, this can show that we are reliable, because reliability is important to me, as well as with these rituals and routines. If I was to get up in the morning and I had a job, be it, if I was a receptionist, here's an example, get up in the morning, set my alarm the night before, get everything organised the night before, like my lunch, and whatnot, either that or set up my dinner if need be, for the following day. So once I get home, whatever time it might be, it's ready for me, if it's prepped up already, what have you. Then, with that reliability, obviously will counterfeit that shows to the employer, however, that they can rely on me anytime, regardless. Even though at the moment, yes, I have some sort of barrier that is stopping me maybe to become that reliable person. I'll say this now because I'm struggling to try and find ways to get my license done, even though everybody's trying to say, come on, Kieran, you want to be an old grandma by the time you get your learners and whatnot. But as I say to every one of them, I don't mean to be rude about this, but I'll point it out right now. It'll be up to me when I'm ready, not when you guys are ready. Be it if you guys were ready a long time ago when you were 15, 16, when you started your license. Yes, I'm still having a lack of confidence issues based on driving in a car. Hence, on my everyday life, being with different people, how I see how they drive and stuff, it makes me cringe. Have all these other mixed emotions sort of thing. It's like, is this supposed to happen on the road when I'm like trying to figure out from memory in my memory bank there the road rules in this day and age? But hey, anyway, I'll just revert to my advice to wrap it up. Okay, my advice for you all based on this topic, rituals and routines. Number 1, okay, for us SBs as well as for normal people, we shouldn't be afraid to do new activities, new foods, new styles of clothing or fashion or what have you. Even though, most SBs just like to be in their own trackies and maybe, I don't know, t-shirt. I don't know. But I've noticed that, as I said in one of my videos, that one of the people that I've been hanging around with is trying to dictate how I should look and stuff. If they can accept me for what I look like, despite that, yes, I've got a good personality, even though personality and the looks, sometimes I've noticed with the looks, however, that can be misleading and also, what's the word I'm going to look for? False. Because sometimes some people that may dress up looking good and stuff may not look pretty in the inside. Hearing me out here. But more on my outtake on beauty and then through my Beauty and Ashes series of pretty much, my self-help series. Anyway, number 2. Cognitive behavioural therapy, or just behavioural therapy first and foremost, pretty much can help if we want to break down our habits and routines for a little at a time. But as said, be warned, it's not going to take overnight. It takes little steps at a time for us. Number 3, exercise. If anything, however, I've learned that if anything gets too overwhelming or mixed emotions all in one, alright, for me, for what I do for exercise is different maybe to you lot. I maybe go for walks, I might go for a run, I may meditate, sort of thing, based on yoga, Pilates, listening to music, and singing to the music I may know. Alright. And last but not least, 4. Journal writing. Yes, I know many people think, Kira, journal writing? Really? But in all honesty, I find that helpful for me. Because I can revert back to it later on in life maybe and see how I progressed in it. It's like anything. And pretty much, to me also, when it comes down to journal writing, we can write down anything, like our thoughts in that given moment, our fears, and also within that is peace part of it. If we're open enough and being able to find someone who we can trust and open up to, be it a counsellor, be it a friend of ours that we've been friends with for so long that may have experienced what we've experienced, given that time frame, regardless of what we've been through, they could help us along the way. Anyway, this wraps up the Rituals and Routines series. I just hope you understand all the and most people may call it gibberish, but in all honesty, it's not gibberish to me. Some of it is advice, and most of it may be helpful for you and informative and the like. Subscribe, comment, follow, or comment below on the YouTube channel, or private message me about any questions maybe based on this or any other video series you've seen, basically of what you may want to look at later on. Yeah, and until next time, have a great day. Peace out.